The ride was great. No traffic, just through the woods.
This ride on this road is absolutely worth making the trip.
If you are ever in Grand Marais, Minnesota, come try it.
It was raining when I woke up, and it was about 10 a.m. before it finally stopped. While I'm fine with riding in the rain, I don't like starting a ride in the rain if I can help it. So I waited for it to pass before getting on the road, but I suited up in rain gear knowing I would hit showers down the road. The plan was to ride to Duluth, Minnesota, and make a couple of stops on the way that were of interest to me.
Well, I'm at the entrance to the state park, and usually state parks I've been at, there's someone there that you pay, but here you have to do it on your phone. There's a QR code that you scan, and it takes you to the site. It's a $7 entrance.
I have now been to the headwaters of the Mississippi River. For some reason, it was something really meaningful to me. I think part of it is when I was in elementary school, I lived in a small town about halfway between New Orleans and Baton Rouge, right on the Mississippi River. So seeing the headwaters and how small it is here, I can't even explain it. It's crazy to see the Mississippi River that narrow and that clear, but it was enjoyable. There were unfortunately plenty of people there, as you can see from some of the video that I took, but still impactful to me. So I very much enjoyed it, and the ride up here was, the ride was great. No traffic, just through the woods, amazing.
In Deer River, Minnesota, I opted to stop for lunch at the Sportsman Cafe. As soon as I left, it began to rain. I wasn't even bothered by it. Truthfully, I expected to hit rain much earlier, so this was nothing more than delayed fulfillment of realistic expectations. Fortunately, I never experienced any heavy rain during the ride. It would rain for a few minutes and stop, then back to rain before stopping again. Unfortunately, while checking weather updates on my phone, I realized the entire area was under a tornado watch until later that evening. With that information, I thought it best to alter my plan and just ride straight to Duluth rather than taking the longer route through Hibbing to see the childhood home of Bob Dylan. Upon arriving at my hotel, it was quite apparent that I inadvertently interrupted a domestic dispute between these two gulls in the parking lot. Behold, my gourmet meal, a microwavable chicken pot pie. It is morning here in Duluth, Minnesota. I didn't record anything last night. I was having camera problems towards the latter part of the ride, but really didn't miss anything. Today, the plan is I'm going to ride up the north shore of Lake Superior to Grand Marais, Minnesota, see what I run across between here and there, stop if I want to, keep riding if I want to keep riding. Though there were plenty of fellow tourists at Gooseberry Falls, it was a nice scenic stop to take a break. While stopped at the falls, I had two different conversations with people. Ordinarily, I avoid small talk like the plague, but I've found that while traveling alone, people are more likely to approach me for conversation, and strangely enough, I usually enjoy it. It's just the right amount of social interaction sprinkled into my solo travel.
In the last 15 miles, temperature has dropped 17 degrees. So the temperature has dropped even more. So it's now 21 degrees cooler than where I was about 25 miles ago. It's getting quite chilly. So I'm looking forward to making a stop so I can warm up, but I'm not too far from Grand Marais at this point. I'm hoping to catch a better view of Lake Superior. It's breathtaking. The scenery is amazing. It's such a neat atmosphere here. And the ride is relaxing. It's just an enjoyable road. Overall, this ride on this road is absolutely worth making the trip.
Had pork sliders and I have to drink a Devil's Kettle IPA. Fantastic. Of course, now I'm gonna have to stay here longer to make sure all the alcohol is out of my system, but it was worth it. If you are ever in Grand Marais, Minnesota, come try a Devil Kettle's IPA.
I enjoy beer and I enjoy riding, but I don't mix the two. It may sound a bit extreme, but I won't ride with even one beer in my system. In this case, things worked out perfectly. I got to drink a great beer, and then I spent more time enjoying the atmosphere in Grand Marais. I sat on the shoreline and passed the time watching the gulls and the waves. I would have loved to have stayed in Grand Marais, but I had my hotel in Duluth booked for another night. I started the 5th day of my trip by riding to Canal Park in Duluth, primarily to ride across the aerial lift bridge. I can't tell you why, but it was just something I wanted to do. So I did it twice. After about 15 minutes of riding around the Canal Park area, I was satisfied that I had seen what I wanted without paying for parking, and I made my way out of town. The plan was to ride south from Duluth down to La Crosse, Wisconsin. Crossing into Wisconsin meant I had visited all of the 48 contiguous states, but yet again, I never saw any sign saying, "Welcome to Wisconsin." While stopped for a break at a gas station, I had an enjoyable conversation about motorcycles with the gentleman driving this truck. I didn't catch his name, but he also rides and told me he and his wife were planning to ride up to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan the following month. It was a nice casual connection with a stranger on the road and a reminder of how great the riding community is. Once I got into the driftless area of Wisconsin, the landscape changed noticeably, and I began to see more and more hills. This portion of the ride was far more enjoyable because I got off the main highway and I could really take in the scenery. As I neared La Crosse, Wisconsin, I turned to the northeast to ride through the Mindoro Cut, which is on County Trunk Highway C between the towns of Mindoro and West Salem. In 1907, work began to cut a path through Phillips Ridge to create a more direct road between a creamery in Mindoro and the railroad to the south in West Salem. Work on the cut was completed in 1908 with a depth of 74 feet and a width of 25 feet. Today, the Mindoro Cut is on the National Register of Historic Places and is identified as the second deepest cut made by hand in the Western Hemisphere. While the cut is the primary point of interest, the road itself is the real draw and worth a ride if you're in the area. After riding through the Mindoro Cut, I made my way to my hotel and made a new friend at the door before turning in for the night.